Today we're going to be looking at 2-sentence horror stories. Now usually how these go is like the first sentence gives, kind of like exposition, but also gets straight into the issue of the whole problem. But then you get to the second sentence and it usually flips the whole first sentence like on its back. Like it makes everything so much more severe. Here, I'll give you an example. The viewer did not like and subscribe during Ultis's video. Sentence 2, Ultis never uploaded again. Bro, keep your socks on, alright? I know that was absolutely terrifying, but some of these sentences, bro, they actually go real crazy. All my life, my parents have told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobeyed them. What is that glowing ball in the sky, and why does it hurt my eyes? Like, this is an amazing 2-sentence horror story. You realize that the person has just been locked in the basement their entire life. And in so many of these 2-sentence horror stories, like, there's so much creativity. I've only seen like a few, but they're like very different from each other. You know what? Let's get into another one. I'm going to have to leave this sub. The crew looked on in horror as their captain opened the hatch at a depth of 2,000 feet. No, dude, that's like the perfect twist. Like they're just so deep down and the man's like, nah, I'm out of here, bro. You opened a peanut butter sandwich and I'm allergic to peanut butter. We're all dying now. When the kidnapper made me guess where he kept my daughter, I went for the basement and he said, correct, allowing me to see her. But when I found her severed head in there, I learned that every other choice would have been correct as well. All right, okay, this one actually took a really dark turn, bro. Some of these are dark. Also, this scenario is just straight up diabolical. Like, you can tell the kidnapper's just like toying around. You're basically just getting some Jigsaw vibes from this guy. I have been working on stories to compete with the best on this sub, but I'm finding it nearly impossible. I'm beginning to think some of you are just making yours up. Oh, bro, that took me a second to understand. FBI, check this man out. We already got a great lead. I framed the first letter I got as a police officer from a woman thanking me after I'd supported her through her daughter's save quit. I passed it in my hallway every day for nearly 8 years before realizing the handwriting was the same as on the girl's note. Nah, dude, that is messed up. Also, wait, hold up. I see a comment here saying he would be a terrible detective. I feel like that's such a good point. Like, whenever you get a situation like this, isn't like one of the first things you do, you like check like everything, including handwriting on the note, like maybe DNA testing, fingerprint, all that kind of stuff. But nah, at the end of the day, that's a really cleverly written 2-sentence horror. Like it's stuff like this that's like, some of the peak in the 2-sentence horror stories. Like, you just get the exposition and then it goes crashing down. Now be careful, that line of rock salt is the only thing keeping them out, the man said, welcoming my group into his refuge. Sea salt, I clarified. Sea salt keeps us out. Yeah, I saw this one coming. As soon as it said welcoming my group into his refuge, I kind of knew where this was going. And that's, I feel like, the one downside of 2-sentence horror stories is that once you kind of like get how they all work, you can kind of predict how they will go. But nah, this one was still really good. My husband has been very upset with me since my failed save quit attempt. He's crying nonstop and he won't acknowledge me. Oh no. Oh no. Are you sure it was a failed attempt, ma'am? Sounds like she failed at failing the attempt, bro. That actually went pretty deep. It's also ones that takes you like, 5 to 10 seconds to actually register what really happens, that are like some of the best 2-sentence horror stories. I was born blind, but was lucky enough to have a loving mother who took care of my every need. Imagine the betrayal I felt when a stitch slipped and a ray of light hit my eye for the first time. Nah, dude, wow. This is like the first one we saw with the person in the basement. It's like this, you feel like you're safe, but once you realize that you're actually just being nerfed by your parents, then the thoughts of why did they do this, what are their intentions, actually start slipping in, and it turns into horror real fast. Please take me instead, I scream, grabbing at the 2 men who took my child. Sorry, ma'am, children only, they said, as they continue loading up the last lifeboat on the ship. Wait, no, hold up. You can't say that. I mean, this isn't really horror, but bro, Okay, that's actually really funny though. Sorry, ma'am, children only. Dude, imagine being one of those parents where you're like, no, sacrifice my child. I want to have a seat on this ship. Nah. That is wacky. So it turns out you can feel everything that happens to your body after death? Oh no. I suppose I should be flattered my husband still finds me attractive after all these years. No. That's okay. That's like fucked. Although, to be honest, just that first sentence is already just like a terrifying horror story on its own. That could be a one-sentence horror story, because you start thinking after you die, I mean, oh my god, are we really going to be talking about this right now? Actually, you know what? I'm going to spare you guys that conversation, because I watched a show where they really, like, you know, went into that concept. Bro, that shit traumatized me for like a week. Like, trust me, you don't really want to delve further into that. For my last wish, I wished my dad to be alive again. I stood atop his grave and smiled, imagining him screaming and clawing at his coffin lid as he did the 2 previous times I wished him back. Yo, that is a sadistic human being. Yo, I'm gonna be real though, that is a trash use for a wish. It kind of reminds me of this like really funny story about like 3 people on an island. So basically there were 3 kids who got stranded on an island after escaping a sinking ship, and once they made it to the island, they discovered a magic lamp. So obviously they rubbed it and summoned the genie, and the genie gave them 3 wishes. The first boy was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I wish to be home. The second boy wished for the same. And then the third boy said, I'm lonely. I wish my friends were back. Like, bro, I feel like that's so connected to this 2-sentence horror story, because it's like just straight trash wishes where, like, you know, once all the wishes are done, nothing has actually really changed. Homie, just a smooth brain, all right? Ah, so it's 2020, the time traveler said. Very early from the looks of it, he muttered under his breath. Like, obviously this was posted 5 years ago, but bro, that is so funny. If like there was an actual time traveler and he's like, oh, it's 2025? Shit, has it happened yet? Brother, has what happened? Oh no, if you don't know it, then it hasn't happened yet. All right, we're good. Battery at 1%. I looked at Earth one last time before my suit ran out of power. Oh my god, dude. And here you thought your phone running out of battery is like one of the worst things, which it kind of is. Actually, there are some scenarios, bro, when you're not at home and you have no idea how to drive back and your phone battery's low. Dude, I might shit a whole ass brick. But I would argue that this would be a little bit worse. Just, I looked at Earth one last time before my suit ran out of power. Damn, dude. It's been almost a decade since I last saw my mother, and she still reminds me every day that if I misbehave again, she'll take my hearing too. Nah, dude. How are these people so clever with like just these 2-sentence horror stories? Like they take just common wording, like the last time I saw my mother, you know, and it's like, okay, well, obviously she died, but nah, bro, she took the spoon to the eye technique. That's straight fucked. Oh my god. They say we have a primal sense that we can just feel when someone is watching us. It's been a few weeks and it's clear that you do not have that sense. Wow. Okay. The crazy thing is, we don't know which one of us they talking about, all right? They may be talking about me, but they may be talking about you. You never know, so keep your eyes peeled. Bullets flew through the mall, ripping clothes to shreds. In the chaos, no one noticed the mannequins bleeding. Oh no, dude. We got them living mannequins. Also, I like how this 2-sentence story is like kind of different from the other ones, because you get like an actual like real supernatural, you know, creature kind of like vibe going. And especially someone who's well accustomed to the uncanny valley, bro. Mannequins are one of those things you never want to see like having any ounce of life. Actually, but this one also makes you think, is it just the mannequins are living, or is there something encased in the mannequins that's bleeding? Oh wait, no, because if you're encased in a mannequin, you'd be dead, bro, and bleed, and you can't like bleed if you're dead. Okay, sorry, we're getting like real here, but nah. So in this case, the mannequins would be living creatures. That's still terrifying. Daddy made me sit in a chair while he tied a string from my tooth to the doorknob. Before he slammed the door, he said, "Tell me where mommy went, and we can stop doing this." No. Oh my god. Bro, like, this is one of those normal things you do when you get those wiggly teeth. You just tie, like, some kind of string around it, and then you slam the door closed so that, like, it just immediately pops out, like, the least amount of pain. But this just takes a super dark turn. Oh my god, I hate that. I look at my father's head on the wall, knowing that he'll finally be proud of me today. What do you mean on the wall? Then I look back at the terrified hunter and sink my antlers into his chest. Oh no, dude. We're just a straight up deer. A meese. Although as soon as I saw father's head on the wall, I'm like, all right, already we going into some uncharted territory. We're already in some really bad situation. Like, in what scenario is your father's head gonna be on a wall? But looking back on this is just the Lion King, all right? We having some redemption for our father, and we killing the big bad. After giving birth, I asked when the young redhead nurse will be back with my baby. There is apparently no nurses working here by that description. Oh, dude, that sent a chill down my spine. I later found out she takes her title as doctor very seriously. 3-sentence save. Bro, that's so funny. I used to hate the sound of crickets outside the lonely farmhouse. Now every time they go silent, I know that thing is passing by, and I pray for them to chirp again. No, okay. This is actually my favorite one we've heard today. Like, a lot of the other ones turn to this, like, you know, really dark side of humanity like thing, but this is kind of what I really want to see when I'm like talking about 2-sentence horror, because it's like you take these 2 sentences and you can just extrapolate in your mind an entire story. Like, what was the thing that was outside? Like, whatever it was, it must have been nightmarish enough that the crickets just stopped chirping. Bro, it's the 2-sentence horror stories like these that I really love. I decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It would definitely spice up my autobiography a little. Nah, okay. It's crazy how many of these just have like twists that turn everything on their side. Like, you get the first sentence and it's like, oh, that's a 10. You know what? You could find that sentence anywhere. And then the second sentence combined with it, it's like, what the fuck? This is just a straight up psychopath that we're talking to. It's okay, darling. The new babysitter is here to put you to bed, my mother said as she hugged me and smiled at the young woman behind her. I'm surprised she couldn't feel me shaking as I looked upon the face that I'd been seeing outside my window for weeks. Brother, this is the mother of all times to speak up, all right? You see this babysitter, your mom is still there, you be like, oh hell no, mom, that is the thing that's been outside my window. Like, there's no way you're young enough to have a babysitter and you don't tell your parents if you see something scary while you're trying to sleep in your room. Like, you gotta make sure this situation is avoidable. I've been chained here for a week, suffering under the scorching sun with no food or water, and I'm beginning to fear the worst. Maybe I'm not such a good boy after all? Okay, you can't do this with dogs. You can't have them in this subreddit, bro. I'm not even sure I'm gonna add this into the final cut. This is so sad. Oh my god, no. All doggos, if you are watching, 1, subscribe. Let's try and outnumber the humans. And 2, bro, you are all good boys, alright? Good boys and good girls. I roll my eyes as another unskippable ad plays on the small screen in my father's hospital room. Please resume eye contact with the advertisement immediately to continue using the complimentary life support service. I love this comment. Do not give them ideas, bro. Like, seriously, that is like, you feel like this could actually happen. Like, with how greedy some of those people at the top are, bro, I can't tell you how much I despise those types of people. Literally some of my least favorite people on the planet. Bro, some of them are so heartless, they would absolutely do this. Through the orphanage, it crept silently in the darkness, killing the children in their sleep as they dreamed of better lives with new parents. It was later learned that the stealthy and dreaded murderer could have been stopped by simply replacing the 9-volt battery in the carbon monoxide detector. Wow. Damn, they really had us with all the language in the first part, like acting like it's, you know, some personified thing. Like, oh no, it's a human, it's creeping silently in the darkness. But bro, to find out that it's carbon monoxide, which by the way, carbon monoxide is terrifying. Like, if you don't have a carbon monoxide detector, you could just be straight up fucked. Finally, I have the house to myself, the boy said when he threw himself on the couch. Pinocchio's dread grew as fast as his nose did when the words left his mouth. Oh my god, okay, I think this is like tied for one of the best 2-sentence horror stories we have seen. Holy, that is a terrifying sentiment. There's so many things you could do with Pinocchio just because he doesn't have to know, but if he just says something that is false, it changes reality and it teaches him things. Like, that is such a good horror concept here. That was very well executed. I kept reminding the little boy that he was gonna meet SpongeBob. He eventually stopped crying and even helped me tie the Nope, I'm sorry. I'm actually not even finishing that one, bro. With that being said and done, we're ending it here, all right? Some of these are actually just so fucked. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I thought going into this, it was gonna be like, oh, this is some ooky spooky stories, but no, some of these were actually just crazy. Anyway, soon I can also hopefully deviate a little bit from like the horror videos that I've been making. Obviously, I want to keep doing them, but I kind of want to expand into more other stuff as well. But if you guys enjoyed this, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know why you would, but please like and subscribe if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.